So let's start right at the beginning. Who are you? Why are you here? What made you come out? What made you leave the comfort of your home to want to be a part of this today?
My name is Danish, and I'm coming all the way from Philadelphia. I heard about this as an AI event, an artificial intelligence event, and we have a company that is primarily an artificial intelligence company, and thought this is the best forum to present at, not only to seek investment, but also to find like-minded people and open up our business network.
So what was the moment in your life when, because I mean, yes, that's one of the first questions people ask you, when you meet them, what do you do? But the question of why you do what you do is, I think, is a far more interesting question, because like you, I'm sure you have put countless hours and time and frustration and love and all of that into building this idea. Do you remember that moment when you decided to do this? And tell me about that.
I realized that, I think 1 or 2 years ago, that you're not born a public speaker, but you can become one. It's as much as it is an art, it is a science. There are strategic ways of becoming a better presenter, able to deliver with confidence, speak with power and authority. And I got that when I attended a Toastmasters event. There was a guy at the back counting my filler words. And after my event, he said, Danish, today you had 3 ums, 2 bad so's, and 1 bad and. And I'm like, I'm going to avoid doing that next time. And I had a really smart computer science friend who I believe can create anything. So I told him, why don't you make an app that counts my filler words before I have to go and present to these Toastmaster guys? Why don't you give me something, a machine that I can talk to, and the machine would give me feedback on my ums and uhs. And so we did that. We built that thing, and slowly we just spread it around our friends, and they said, wow, this is valuable. And so our friends started using it. We showed it to a few speech coaches, and they said, we also give feedback on pace, how fast or slow a customer spoke. We also tell them about their projection. Are they talking with variation? And where are they pausing? So we set out and added those algorithms as well in our machine. And then slowly on, and then I said, where else can we use this technology? And I saw the sales training industry. At my company, they spent a lot of resources on training sales reps just to make them better deliver. Persons who can deliver with powerful, with authority, and who can make that sale. And I said, wow, there's money here. And so we started talking with sales managers, with sales reps, and they quickly validated this product.
I mean, you kind of gave me the Cole's Notes version of your journey, which I'm sure has been, a pretty intense one over the last couple of years. But as you sit here now and you reflect back, isn't it amazing to think, a very small idea and how it's grown and continues to grow? How do you feel about that as you see this thing now?
I remember Steve Jobs' quote, who said, you cannot connect the dots looking forward, but you can only connect them looking backwards. And this is the position I stand in right now, where all these pieces of puzzles, they come together. And they wouldn't have come together if I was not out there. You always have to be there and seek for any opportunities. You never know what might land onto you and how you connect all of these together.
And you need to experience problems, for lack of a better word, the pain. Can you tell me about some of your greatest failures, some of your biggest frustrations that have ultimately become your greatest successes so far?
And I still remember the days when I used to feel my heart throbbing to my throat whenever I would go in front of public around. If there was more than 30 people in the audience, I would be nervous. My palms would be sweaty. When I'm holding the mic, I can feel it slipping, right? And I can even feel my legs trembling. And that's not a good feeling. And it was not just me. In fact, 75% of our population fears public speaking. Some would rather not go on stage, they would rather die.
Well, that's what they say. People are more afraid of public speaking than they are of dying.
Yeah,
that's wild.
I want to go into an industry or build a product that touches the hearts of millions. That is my end goal. Build technology that not just helps 1,000 people near me, but millions around the world. And for me, that was speaking. And I think our tool can help anyone become a better speaker.
So how did you feel taking the stage during this taping of 8 Billion Acts of Innovation? Were you nervous at all?
Yeah, that's a funny question. Many people are asking me, are you nervous? I think that that's just a thing you ask when someone goes on stage. But I told them, no, I've done this before. I'm confident about what I'm pitching, and I'm confident about what content I have to say today. So no nervousness.
What is it about? I mean, AI. It's. I don't think it's a buzzword anymore. I mean, but it was. And what's funny is I don't know if everybody fully gets what that means. How do you describe that? I mean, maybe it's the simplest question to ask, but I think it's one worth addressing. What is artificial intelligence?
Yeah. The example I give is of a baby. When anyone says our machine learning algorithms or neural network models, it's like creating a baby in this machine. In back of this computer, you're building this baby and training it. The way we do with speech, we feed our machine learning algorithms good speeches, bad speeches, confident speeches, terrible speeches, speeches with a lot of filler words. And once we feed it, we also tell it, listen, this is a good speech, this is a bad speech. And so after you feed the data, you also tag the data. And now, once you have this done, whenever a new input comes in, it can objectively score. You know, before Danish fed me this speech, and this new speech that I'm getting is very close to this one. So I'll give it a 7 out of 10. And that is much better than a human who has a limited set of experiences, so it's very subjective. On the other hand, this machine learning algorithm is very objective and can score you on energy, on anything that humans can understand. And that's where we stand right now. This was not possible maybe a year ago. So it's still very novel and puts a great opportunity in this landscape.
What are you most excited about when you think about the future?
Excited and scared, because the path we're going on to, it does seem like machines can become smarter than us. That is exciting because we will be able to augment and solve problems that we have not even thought of yet. Imagine not having any homeless person. Imagine not having anyone die of a disease. These are things that machines can solve if they're smarter than us. But at the same time, there's this notion of, what if? Can they make us extinct? Right. There's always that uncertainty. But it's exciting nonetheless.
I can't believe I'm about to quote Spider-Man, but there's the line in Spider-Man, with great power comes great responsibility.
Yes.
And I think that can definitely be applied to this.
Yes. And that's why these big companies like Google, Facebook, IBM, they are spending resources on what-if scenarios. And I believe the greatest power is in their hands. They are the top tier of AI. The technologies they have, some of us don't even comprehend them. And yes, great power comes great responsibilities. Very true.
So last thing I want to ask you, again, the future, how do you want to be remembered? What do you want your legacy to be?
Yeah. It's very hard to say because I have this short-term goal right now, which is my company Oratio. I know that at least for the next 1 to 5 years, this is the thing I'll be growing. 5 years down the line, you never know what new problems there are in the world, because our world is changing so rapidly nowadays. It's hard to have long-term goals anymore. So you can just live with the short-term goals, but in terms of a legacy, I know that I do want to have a legacy at the end of the day, something to be worth remembered for, rather than just graduate with a degree, go do a job, retire, have children. That's not the legacy I want to leave behind. It's something that millions of people can really resonate with. Thank you so much for having me.
Pleasure.